O Diyos aming Ama, ang lahat ng nilalang ay marapat na sumamba sa iyo. Higit sa iyong mga biyaya, sinasamba ka namin dahil ikaw ay ikaw. Lumalapit kami sa iyo, dakilang tagapaglikha, nagsusumamo at humihingi ng kapatawaran. Kami ay nagkulang at nagkasala. Patawarin mo kami sa katigasan ng aming mga puso. Turuan mo kami at dalhin sa inyong kalooban. Tingnan mo kami ng may awa at kahabagan. Hilumin mo po ang aming bayan, ang aming mga mahal sa buhay, kaibigan, kapitbahay, karatig bayan, ganon din ang aming mga kaaway sa pandemyang kinahaharap namin sa COVID-19. Isama niyo na rin ang mga may sakit sa iba't ibang karamdaman. Panginoon, balutin mo kami ng inyong kaluwalhatian. Itago mo kami sa lilim ng inyong mga pakpak laban sa anumang kapahamakan o wala sa oras na kamatayan. Kristo, ang tinapay ng buhay, alalahanin niyo po ang mga namumuno sa aming bansa, ang mga ilaw at haligi ng bawat tahanan, at mga kawani na nagtatanggol sa aming seguridad at mga frontliners. Batid mo, Panginoon, ang mga dinaraanan at bawat ganap sa aming buhay. Espiritong Banal, aming tanggulan at gabay, imulat ang aming mga mata at ipakita si Jesus ang Panginoon at tagapagligtas, ang nag-iisang katotohanan at tanging daan tungo sa Ama. Wala nang iba. Purihin ka, O aming Diyos. Ang presensya mo ay tunay na biyaya ng aming buhay. Ito ang aming samot panalangin sa pangalan ni Jesus, Kordero ng Diyos na nag-aalis ng kasalanan ng mundo. Amen.
Reaching out to Filipinos worldwide, the now of digital entertainment with studios in Manila, Bacolod, Hong Kong, and Los Angeles, California. This is V81 Radio Worldwide.
V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Dahil mahal namin kayo. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio.
The views and opinions expressed by the host do not necessarily state or reflect those of the company and its management. Furthermore, the views and opinions of the guests do not reflect those of the host, the show, this station, the management, and the network. Kumusta, kabayan? Kumusta ka, bayan? Gusto mo bang makasagap ng chismis na may laman? Chismis na makabuluhan. Let's talk about love, life, relationships, social issues, and anything under the sun. Narito na sina Jay at Owie upang sabayan kayong makitawa, makiiyak, makikanta, at makisaya sa nag-iisang online tambayan. ChikaBayan, ChikaBayan, ChikaBayan. Dito lang yan sa V81 Radio Worldwide.
Hello mga kabayan!
Hello!
Ready na ba kayo sa Chismis Tuesday?
Yeah, sa isang panibagong online show ng
Tama.
ating mga kabayan.
Correct.
This is Owie.
And this is Jaya and Girl.
Ano, chika ba yan?
Chika ba yan?
Chika
Bayan! Hello mga kabayan. Ayun na nga. So, we are your new online tambayan. And this is going to be every Tuesday, no?
At 7 p.m. So you can catch us here on V81 Radio, and they can actually download the mobile app for them to watch us more and other shows of V81.
Radio.
Apart from the mobile app, we also are available on Amazon TV and Amazon Alexa.
Yes. So, Alexa, play ChikaBayan.
Let's play V81 Radio.
Play V81 Radio. Remember.
Ayan po. So to catch more shows from V81 Radio, please feel free to download the app. Check us out on Amazon Fire TV and Amazon Alexa.
That's
Ayan.
correct. And, ayun, so for this episode, the pilot episode of ChikaBayan, so, our audience might be wondering, ano bang pronunciation yan? Actually, yun. It's a wordplay. ChikaBayan.
ChikaBayan or
ChikaBayan.
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 Kayo pong bahala mag-decipher
Oo.
kung paano na siya gustong sabihin, pero it's
Bayan.
ChikaBayan.
And wait lang, let's set proper expectations with our kabayans out there who's gonna be watching us every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Manila time. So since this is under V81 Radio Worldwide, we are available all over the globe. Taray, worldwide. Charing! Ayun. So setting up expectations tayo mga kabayan. What can they expect from our show every Tuesday?
Ayan. So, marami po kaming pag-uusapan dito sa show na ChikaBayan. We'll talk about love, we'll talk about life, everything, professional development, hanggang sa work-life balance and all. Marami po kaming pwedeng i-share na stories and some tips and tricks how to survive your adulting sstage. Ayan.
Correct. So parang anything under the sun, pero we're gonna make sure na it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be chikahan lang ng mga mag-amigas. Tamang chismisa ng mga marites lang sa kanto ang theme ng
Mga
ating
atichonas.
mga atichonas lang natin dyan. So, we'll make sure to make it, as fun as possible for you guys. But at the same time, still, learning, still knowing ourselves more, still
Correct.
developing our characters.
Ayan. And ito na nga. So, bilang this is our first episode, we want to get to know each other more, and even you yourself as our audience at home,
Our kabayans.
our kabayans at home, we want to help you get to know yourself more. Pero may question muna ako sa'yo. Have you ever had like a time that you had like a conflict or a rift with someone because hindi nagka-clash yung personalities niyo?
Nagka-clash.
Or dahil
personalities
nagka-clash
namin.
rather yung personalities?
Oo, actually yes. Parang I've had a couple in the past. Lalo na nung bata-bata pa ako. Lalo na nung siguro mga grade school, high school, ganyan. Actually, siguro hanggang college. Hanggang siguro nag-work. Charing, attitude pala. Uy, hindi, joke lang. Charing. Hindi. Parang, I've had a couple na misunderstanding, conflicts actually with people because it's probably because I didn't like some things about them. They didn't like a couple of, my traits and characteristics as a sweet girl.
And this is a fact, ha? I myself also have experienced this. People are very quick to judge.
Very.
Very quick to judge just because, number one, they can judge you based on what they say on your social media profiles. Kung ano yung nakikita nila sa Instagram mo, sa Facebook mo, Twitter mo, or other social media platforms that you are using. Kasi it's a fraction of your personality that you are sharing online eh.
That's
so
true.
they are quick to judge. And on top of that, what if they met you personally na?
Tapos biglang hindi nag-align, no?
Oo, nakita nila, ay, si Jaya medyo loud, ma-ere, gano'n, di ba?
Pero hindi totoo yun.
Pero hindi totoo kung si Jaya. Loud lang talaga.
Ngayon, defensive.
And sometimes, ang tao, nagkakaroon sila nung certain defense mechanism na, ay, hindi ko siya magiging friend because...
Parang early judgment. Ano tawag doon? Impression.
It's an impression.
First impression.
Correct. And this is what we want to talk about today. How are we going to break those first impressions on us, and how can we manage these relationships even better? Na what if hindi pa kayo friends? Gusto mo siya maging friend pero meron kang certain na nakikitang baka hindi mo magustuhan and whatnot.
Oo. Or parang inuunahan mo na, ay, ganito kasi siya, hindi ko yun makakasundo.
Correct.
Parang ganon.
Now, we'll talk about personal profiling. So when you say personal profiling kasi, this is how you assess the person based on what you are seeing and based on the behavior that this person is manifesting. It could be yung pagiging silent niya, or masyado siyang loud, or ang dami ng kwento. And ito kasi nagiging basehan ng tao kung paano sila nagjo-jump agad into conclusions na, ay, itong taong to ganito siya.
Oo. Or parang, yung ano lang, actually, sometimes wala pang words eh. Just how they present themselves. Pagpasok sa room, parang grabing postura, ganyan. Or di ba, how they handle themselves, how they carry themselves. Ganyan, as early as that pa lang.
Full face na makeup
Oo,
ka ba?
sobrang contour, pero hindi naman pala nagsasalita buong araw mo, ganyan. Parang as simple as how, because, aray. Oo, Clash of Clans yan, tama po. So parang as early as how they present themselves, not even saying a single word pa lang, yun, parang that's already considered profiling kasi. So today, we're gonna talk about, the importance of it in relationship management or how we can handle that more effectively siguro, no?
Correct. So, is personal profiling important in relationship management? Ikaw, what do you think?
Wait lang.
Kamay sa mouth.
Wait lang. Well, ulit yung question.
Is personal profiling important in relationship management?
Ako, honestly, yes. Ako, for me, and disclaimer lang all throughout this episode, and the any upcoming Chismis Tuesdays, we could always be wrong here in ChikaBayan. We anything that we say, anything that we we express are highly challengeable, and we're very open to feedback. But to answer your question, dami kong hanash. Yes, I think it's very important. Most especially if you are looking into like a long-term and healthy relationship with that person. Like, kasi sometimes, we have relationships that are shallow. Yung mababaw lang talaga. Yung alam mo na parang, kunyari, nag-meet kayo sa Twitter. Na parang, or nag-meet kayo sa any social media platform. Alam mo yung mga friends mo na surface lang eh. Yung mga hi, hello lang, mga parang, tamang ganda mo, Beb.
Tamang kumusta.
Tamang kumusta
The conversation ends at, kumusta ka, okay naman, ikaw.
Oo. Tapos mag-end yan sa, okay din ako, like. Or okay din ako, heart react.
Or
ganyan.
okay din ako, hehe.
Or hek.
Ayun.
Mga ganyan. Ayun. So, mga ganun ba? Ako, for me, if I see the relationship going somewhere deeper than, what was initially established online, I would. I think it's very important, to profile the person first. Just to make sure that, whatever I say would be appropriate, whatever, or kung paano ko umasta. Umasta is appropriate dun sa personality ng tao. Ikaw ba? You think it's important or it matters? Ganyan.
Ako, I agree with the answer of candidate number 1.
Uy, shout out kay Tibay. Hi!
Hello sa
Hi,
mga friends
Tibay.
namin watching today.
Hello po. Sexy yan si Tibay.
Totoo naman. Kasi relationship management does not really stop dun sa friendship sa building friendship.
That's true.
It could be an intimate relationship then with your future partner or with your current partner kung meron ka ng partner sa ngayon. Or it could be the relationships that you are building in the office. For you to know the personality type or yung profile ng tao na nakakasama mo sa araw-araw, it will give you that advantage of how to say how to say things right, or how to say the right words, how to phrase, these statements that could have been delivered better para hindi mo siya ma-hurt kasi may mga taong sensitive talaga. And this is actually what we're going to talk about today. Meron tayong tinatawag na MBTI.
That's true.
In one of the classes I've actually ran, I was challenged by one of the students. Sabi niya ganun kasi, ang MBTI sa psychology, wala daw siyang parang concrete, analytical
equivalent.
Oo.
Parang hindi siya proven.
Hindi siya proven.
Yeah.
Hindi daw siya scientific. Ang sabi ko naman
Hindi ikaw na scientist.
Ang sabi ko naman kasi, by the way, MBTI is yung Myers-Briggs type indicator.
That's
so it's an assessment that you can take online, which we will actually share later dun sa link, yung link nito, so you can take it as well.
Yeah.
Ang sabi ko dun sa learner na to, hindi mo kailangan magkaroon ng concrete or analytical calculation na maging personality mo. Kasi taking tests like this, apart from MBTI kasi meron pa tayong tinatawag na DISC personality.
Meron din tayong dope
Dope
personality
test, oo,
test.
yung 4 types of birds.
Yes.
Maraming
Hala, ang daming
personality
bird.
types.
Ay, oh my gosh, pwede ba yun? Sorry.
Ayun. So, madami kasing personality test na pwede ninyong i-take. Pero, ang palagi kong sinasabi kapag nag-take kayo niyan is that don't put yourself in, don't contain yourselves in the results
Ayun.
that you are going to get after the assessment.
That's correct. Ako, I have to completely agree with that. So, itong mga personality tests that we have, we are highly encouraging, everyone to try them out, do them, take them. Tapos, pero keep in mind that gabay lamang sila. Meron tayong free will. Gamitin natin ito. Charing. And then, why did I say na parang guide lang sila? Kasi parang you will realize kasi once you took the test na medyo parang, Shems, sakto siya sa pinagdadaanan ko right now. Oh my gosh, ganito talaga ako, ganyan. But then again, you have to take into account that people change. Diba?
Correct.
Change is constant. When you say people change, it does not necessarily mean in a week, in a year, in a month. Change could be in a second. Like now, we could be different people now because earlier we haven't talked about this yet. And you, sa mga kabayan natin na nanonood dyan, so you could be different people now because you're watching us right now, and you're not the same people you were 10 seconds ago before we talked about this. Tama, Angelique. So, shout out, Angelique. So yun, so parang it's you have to take into consideration your change, your personal development, your process, your growth. Hindi siya wala siyang timeline. It's constant. It can happen in a snap. It can happen in a year. It's very complex. I really like the idea of time. But yun nga, these personality tests are only guide para lang you know where you're at.
Correct.
And you know how you will be able to deal with other people who may have, a different personality type than yours.
Tama. Ako when I took the personality test, ang result ko kasi is INTJ.
INTJ. And tas yung mo? Assertive.
Assertive.
Oo.
So, may letters po kasi. Ikaw, ano yung sa'yo?
Ako, ENFPA.
Para sa assertive.
Assertive.
Ayan. So, bigyan natin ng linaw yung mga viewers natin kung anong may mga letters na to. When you take the test kasi, yung Myers-Briggs Type Indicator Test, meron tayong 16 different personalities na makikita doon na pwede kayo mag-fall sa isa doon sa mga 16 na yun.
Hala mo fall?
Kasi dito, makikita nyo kung ano yung, not really makikita nyo, parang i-validate niya kung ano yung alam nyo na currently. For example, you know that you are an extrovert because you feel that you're loud, you draw energy from crowds.
You like going out, being
you
surrounded
like
with people.
You're always the social butterfly na parang ito. Ayan. So, when you take this kasi, it validates what you already know. And on top of that, it also gives you some insights of what you still do not know about yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Ang tao kasi, I'm not generalizing this and what I'm going to say is not prescriptive, it's just suggestive.
Yeah.
It's always suggestive naman. Some people kasi, when you say introvert sila, ang alam nila palagi pag introvert, tahimik.
Nagmumukmukha lang sa bahay.
Or
ganyan.
mahilig, yung homebody lang, hindi mahilig mag-travel.
True.
Or ayaw ng maingay. Pero ako, I'm an introvert. And me being an introvert is kind of a little different from the usual stereotype na introvert.
Yeah.
Yung ibang tao na akala nila is someone na, alam mo yun, hindi masyado masalita. I am an introvert because...
Yung hindi nakikipag-socialize at all.
Oo. I'm an introvert because I find peace when I'm at home, alone. Or I'm at peace when I'm not talking to people. But it's not always the case. Kasi here's the thing. You can always challenge your personality types if you want to change something sa kung ano yung meron ka na sa ngayon.
That's true. And diba, change always comes from within kasi. Like at the end of the day, choice mo kasi yun eh. Parang, kunyari, meron kang part of you that you think you wanna improve. You think you wanna change. You think you wanna develop. Nasa sa'yo, ikaw yung magsisimula. So, kunyari, if you don't, hindi naman, si Tibay daw introvert. Ang funny gabo. So, shout out, hi, B. So, yun. So, parang, it sometimes kasi, and it's very important na hindi society yung nag-dictate sa'yo ng mga bagay na gusto mong i-change sa sarili mo.
Correct.
It has to come from within. You have to really want it personally for you to develop a different trait that you think is better, that you think is gonna be better, good for you. Hindi siya parang, kasi ang gusto nila, parang, kasi mas maraming friends kapag extrovert. So, alam mo, parang, even if you're no longer comfortable anymore, you're gonna put yourself out there kahit, alam mo, parang peer pressure,
Totoo.
na parang, na-expose ka na sa mga bagay na you're not really very comfortable with. And that's how you lose yourself. So, ang goal naman itong mga personality tests ito is for us to get to know ourselves better.
Yes. And on top of that kasi, when, di ba, we always hear this na parang, you have to know yourself for you to love someone else better.
Taray.
Yung, kilalanin mo ang sarili mo para matutunan mong mahalin siya. Para pag nagmahal ka ng iba, biglang tumawid sa love life, no? Para pag nagmahal ka ng iba, handa ka na. Kasi alam mo
Kilala
na kung
mo,
gusto mo,
oo.
kilala mo na kung sino ka.
Pero importante din kasi, I have to agree, kasi parang di ba lagi natin sinasabi na we can't give what we don't have.
Yes.
So parang if you don't know yourself, you will be challenged to love yourself. Kung di mo alam, kung di mo kilala yung sarili mo, mahihirapan kang malaman kung paano ba dapat mahalin at alagaan yung sarili mo. Ngayon, kung hindi mo alam kung paano alagaan at mahalin yung sarili mo, mahihirapan din yung ibang tao na mahalin at alagaan ka kasi baka akala mo hindi ka inaalagaan or they're not loving you enough, pero yun na pala yun. Hindi mo lang gets kasi hindi mo alam kung paano at hindi mo kilala yung sarili mo.
Correct.
Diba?
The question now here is, and we're getting this din naman sa mga dati nating nilaran na classes,
Na
in the
classes,
past.
yeah.
Do these personality types change? Ang question.
Yes.
Change is the only constant thing in this world, di ba?
Mhm.
Kana. Ako kasi, just because I am an introvert, I am analytical, I am intuitive, and a judger. I am TJ.
Uy, sabi ni Tiba, hindi lang sila aware na pagmamahal na pala yun. Tama,
Tama
Mi.
yan.
Hindi sila aware. Tama.
Ayan. So,
Alfonso daw. Alfonso, baka naman. Charing.
ayun. So, just because I am, this personality type doesn't mean that I can't change myself anymore.
That's true.
I always suggest to these learners na do not think that you are in a box. Siguro sa opisina naririnig nito sa mga boss nyo, sa mga managers nyo, yung mga think outside the box. I always challenge that. Never think outside the box because if you think outside the box, nasa box ka pa rin. Nasa loob ka pa din. Rather, think that there is no box at all. Because the possibilities are endless if you set your
That's
mind
true.
straight.
The world is your playground if you're not inside the box.
Correct. There are some trigger events that might happen to you why these personality types change along the way. One of the reasons is...
Do not think you're inside the box. That's very true,
do not think
Jovan.
that you're inside the box. One of the reasons is pwedeng career development, you want to get promoted. Tapos masyado kang emotional, masyado kang banking on your feelings. And that's, managements usually kasi mga higher managements, they look into yung mga analytical na tao.
Yes,
na
not people that can hold people, manage people.
Correct. Na hindi nagmamanage based on their emotional instincts lang.
Yeah.
I'm not really discounting the fact na may mga emotional talaga na tao, but you can always flip the switch.
Yes.
Ikaw pa rin yun.
It's always up to
Nasa iyo
you.
pa rin yun.
That's true.
Correct. May mga tao na they have these inferiority complexes. Tama ba yung plural ko?
Okay
Meron
lang
silang
yan.
inferiority
Okay lang
complex
yan.
that they feel insecure.
Insecure. And they overthink.
They overthink.
Mm-mm.
What if you just need to flip another switch for you to put yourself a little further in between thinking and feeling? Para hindi mo ma-feel na meron kang inferiority complex among others.
That's true. What if your sole focus is just knowing how or what your personality is and what that other person's personality is, just to get along?
Correct.
Diba? What if we just focus on that? And not only that, parang it's yun nga, we talked about kanina na more than knowing yourself and knowing the personality, we also wanna dig deeper into feeling loved, feeling cared about, feeling appreciated and valued. So we're gonna take a short break, pero pagbalik natin, ang next naman nating pag-uusapan is
Love languages.
Yan.
Kasi may mga
Daanan
tao
natin.
na nakilala natin, nagtatanong palagi, kapalit-palit ba ako? Kamahal-mahal ba ako? Mga ganon. Pag-uusapan natin mamaya sa
Sorry.
pagbabalik ng ChikaBayan after this short break.
Magbabalik ang ChikaBayan, Chika Bayan. ChikaBayan, dito lang yan sa V81 Radio Worldwide. The program for the millennials that will showcase young professionals' worth, aspirations, and successes in doing what they believe is right, progressive, and inclusive, making a difference. Making a difference. Join them as they discover the path to self and societal fulfillment while making a difference. Hosted by empowered and cool millennial Erica Mizon. Together with her cool millennials, they will be making a difference. Every Saturday, 1 p.m. Philippine time. Only here on V81 Radio, Manila. Good news para sa mga kababayan natin abroad. Mapapanood nyo na ang inyong mga paboritong V81 radio shows sa Amazon Fire TV. Simple lang ang gawin. Go to amazon.com at isearch lang ang V81 radio app and click install. Tiyak wala kayong shows na mamimiss dahil mapapanood nyo na ito anytime and anywhere you want. Gamit ang Amazon Fire TV. Tandaan lang, just install the V81 radio app and you're good to go. Another first from V81 Radio Worldwide.
Hi, this is Jaya. Pinoy music ba hanap mo? Well, download the V81 Radio mobile app available at the App Store and Google Play Store. Free now, free forever. Ganun!
V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Dahil mahal namin kayo. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio.
Balikan na natin ang ChikaBayan, Chika Bayan. ChikaBayan, dito lang yan sa V81 Radio Worldwide.
Nagbabalik po ang
ChikaBayan!
Ano, sa backstage na ganito na kami ni Uy. So, ayun na nga. So, before we move on to our next topic for today, which is love languages, we just want to remind our kabayans out there to, of course, download the V81 Radio mobile app so you can listen anytime and anywhere. Download na. This is free now, free forever. It's available on Apple Store and Google Play. And
Yes.
also we are
We are also available on Amazon TV. So you can watch it on demand on Amazon Fire TV and also on Amazon Alexa.
and Amazon Alexa.
Yes.
Alexa, play V81 Radio.
Ayun.
Yun. So, mapapanood nyo po ang different shows ni V81 Radio through Amazon Alexa and Amazon Fire TV.
Correct.
Ayan. So,
So,
going back.
Eto na nga. So kanina, bago tayo nag-break,
Tagay na kayo dyan. Shot niya na. Charing.
So kanina pinag-uusapan natin yung tinatawag na Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. So we will share the link of this personality assessment online. It's totally free of charge. Yun, wala kayong kailangan bayaran, and then isi-send kasi sa inyo ng MBTI yung maging results.
Sa email.
Nung test na to. So ito siya, we're
Yan.
showing the page where you can get the personality test.
There.
So, when you get the results, magpa-fall ka dun sa isa sa mga 16 personality types.
That's correct.
So, ang kagandahan kasi nito, when you take the assessment is that you will be able to know yourself more and validate the things that you already know and probably give you some insights that you still do not know about that personality type.
That's true. And what I also like about, the MBTI is bukod sa personality mo, meron silang reference ng mga famous people, like public figures na pwedeng ka-personality mo. So, kunyari, ako kasi I'm a campaigner. So, ang mga ka-personality ko daw is sila Robert Downey Jr. Iron Woman ka, girl. Charing. Tapos, sila Rob Williams, ganyan. So, you can easily relate. And yun, parang, yun nga sinasabi namin palagi ni Owie na during the pandemic, we're all in lockdown, we're all, isolated, we're far from our friends, our family members, our jowas, taray, charing. Malayo tayo sa mga mahal natin sa buhay. And it's super, super, super easy to lose ourselves. And the best way to not lose yourself is to get to know yourself better. So ayun, visit the 16 Personalities link. We're gonna share it on the description. And yan, ganyan yung itsura niya, as you can see on the screen.
Correct. Ayan.
Yan.
Now, after knowing your personality type, ito na, kanina kasi we talked about how you interpret love, how you give love, and how you want to receive it in return.
Yeah, that's true. Oh.
Ngayon, meron tayong tinatawag na 5 love languages. Saan ba galing to? Itong 5 love languages na to. It's actually from a book by Gary Chapman. Na same title din naman siya, 5 love languages.
Tito Mugari.
Yes. So, dun sa 5 love languages na to, meron siyang physical touch, quality time,
Words of affirmation, acts of service, and gifts. Receiving gifts.
Ayan. So, this is also a personality assessment for you to get to know yourself when it comes to managing relationships or intimate relationships. Pwede kasi yun eh. Or pwedeng friendship din kasi there are assessments na pang couple na, may assessment for single people, meron din naman assessments for kids.
That's true. And earlier, the MBTI, the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator Test, it's more of intrapersonal is like your relationship within you. And then this one naman, sa love languages, it's interpersonal. So it's, how you deal with and, communicate with other people.
Correct. So isa-isahin natin ngayon tong 5 love languages na to.
True.
Before that, anong result nung sa'yo when you talk it?
Ako, it's a tie, yung ko, quality time and physical touch. Tas my next one is acts of service. And then next ko is receiving gifts and then words of affirmation. And guys, ito pala, before anything else, I know you have already been seeing this, siguro probably on other social media platforms na you only have one love language. No, we all have different, we parang distributed yon. We can all, hello, konbanwa, hello po. All the way from Japan, si Miss Maria Faye Nakajima. Hi, thanks for watching. So, ayun. So, the love languages that we have, we all have the 5 love languages. Actually, it could be 4 lang kung malakas yung iba mo. Pwedeng 3 lang. But, it's not just one love language. Hindi yan, parang pipili ka lang ng isa na, bet ko ata yung love language ko is ganitis lang. Hindi siya ganon, mga kabayan. So you really have to take the love language test to know kung ano yung mas mataas, kung ano yung mas nangingibabaw kaysa doon sa ibang love languages. Pero it's present.
So ano ba kasi yung tulong nito when it comes to relationship management? And again, relationship management may be intimate or maybe with your friends or people at work.
Work relationship.
Balik tayo dun sa handling conflicts. Balik tayo dun sa rifts that you might have, encountered or experienced in the past. Usually, whenever we get into arguments with people, ang kadalasan kasi na nangyayari, it's all about miscommunication. Diba?
That's true.
Kadalasan.
Misinterpretation.
Oo. Miscommunication or lack thereof.
Yes, that's true. I have to agree.
Minsan kasi, if we're not really communicating ourselves enough with these people who surrounds us, hindi nila,
They don't have anything to decipher. Gets,
Oo.
wala kang binibigay eh. So
Correct.
parang there's nothing to unpack. There's nothing to learn about you. Parang wala. You're just leaving them to jump into conclusions na hindi backed up with facts, with actions, because wala. So that's the lack of that. And doon naman sa miscommunication, yung
hindi kayo nag-a-align. Parang you're not seeing each other eye to eye just because you are saying some things that the other person is not accepting or dinideflect niya palagi kung ano yung mga naririnig niya sa'yo. Kasi baka, again, I'm using the word baka, hindi yun yung love language niya. Doon muna tayo sa basic. Magjowa or mag-asawa.
I can't relate.
Ay,
Jowain niyo na po ako para makarelate na ako. Ay, joke lang. Oops. Mali. Live pala to. Go.
ayun. For example, mag-asawa or mag-nobyo at nobyo.
Oo.
The word nobyo. So parang,
Yun. Mag-in a
in
relationship.
a relationship. There are times na nag-aaway yan just because itong si girl, nag-expect siya ng regalo.
Gusto niya ng flowers,
Oo,
ng
sa
chocolates.
anniversary. Or if there is like an occasion like a birthday niya.
Mm-mm.
And the girl is expecting a gift. Or kunyari, bago lang sila nagde-date. May isa siguro nag-expect ng regalo kasi it's our first date.
May
or
pa-flowers
third
siguro
date na natin.
yan. May pa-chocolate siguro yan.
What if yung love language naman ni lalaki hindi giving gifts? Baka yung love language niya is spending quality time with the person.
Like yung date na yon, he was supposed to do something else, pero he dropped it to be with you on that day. And that's his love language, quality time.
Correct.
Diba?
So, sometimes, if one person does not know kasi kung ano yung love language ng taong kasama niya, regardless if it's asawa na or kadate lang, or magjowa sila.
Boyfriend, girlfriend.
Dito nagkakaroon kasi ng argument eh. Parang hindi kasi sila nagme-meet halfway. So kung ano yung gustong makuha ng isa versus dun sa gustong ibigay ng isa.
Yeah, that's correct.
I actually would like to give myself an example, as an example. My love language is parang sa'yo din. Physical touch, quality time. Tapos pangatlo ko na si words of affirmation. I took the...
You retook it?
Oo, I took the assessment again. Di ba dati pangatlo ko si acts of service. Tapos pang-apat si words. Nag-switch sila.
Ang galing.
Oo.
Yeah, feeling ko dahil sa kaka-Twitter mo. Kaka-cellphone mo yan.
Kaka-cellphone ko naging words of affirmation. Gusto kong makuha, no? Minsan, kapag words of affirmation yung nasa taas mo, ang palagi mong gusto naririnig sa maybe friends or partner mo is that, I love you.
I'm proud of you.
Proud of you.
You're doing great. Ano ganyan.
What if yung sa boyfriend ko naman, service kasi siya. Acts of service.
Luto-luto.
So, mas madalas niya akong ipagluto kaysa mag-sorry siya kung may argument kami. But I'm not taking it negatively na hindi siya nagsasorry just because may nagawa siya sa akin. Kasi yun yung love language niya. That's the peace offering that he is giving para magkaroon kami ng closure dun sa kung anong pinagawayan namin.
That's correct.
Naglilinis siya ng bahay. Alam mo yun, he's doing the chores na ganun kasi siya mag-express ng love. And I'm not taking it negatively. Just because I don't hear I love you often from him doesn't mean that he doesn't love me anymore. And siguro kayo din sa mga audience natin out there watching us. Just because you're not hearing I love yous often from your partners do not mean na hindi nila kayo mahal.
Sorry girl, commercial. Wait lang. Kasi gusto ko mag-share. Ako naman, sa experience ko, ay wala pala akong jowa. Tapos pagtingin ko sa phone ko, you have one new match. Sorry, makaka-relate na ako. Charing joke lang. Yeah. Hindi, parang kayo rin. Sorry, going back. So parang kayo rin, mga kabayan, kasi ako, though I'm single now, what I want to share naman is with my friends, with, my barkada, with my circle, kayo, tas yung mga bev ng taon natin dyan. So parang, that's also, it also works, the same way. It might not be similar because it's platonic and it's not, romantic, but it's both intimate relationship kasi. So parang sometimes, parang kapag may mga conflict sa barkada, conflict sa within your circle, I want to take into account how I know their personality and their love language. Para, alam mo yung kapag susuyuin mo, alam mo kung paano siya susuyuin.
Correct.
Parang, kasi ako, it's very important for me na parang anong lagi ko sinasabi, parang know when and where to say what. There's always a better way of saying things. And sometimes, you don't even have to say it. You just have to do it because it depends on that person's personality and love language. So, kunyari, yung parang dun sa example mo sa inyo ng jowa mo, parang, kasi nagkakaroon ng conflict and lumalalim yung misunderstanding sa mga relationships kapag akala mo pag nagluto ka, okay na. Parang mga ganun, parang akala mo madadala mo ako dyan sa pag nagmamaneho mo ko, akala mo madadala mo ako sa pag-post mo dyan sa Facebook. Kasi hindi natin tinatry intindihin na probably that is that person's love language. Na parang we expect so much from them, from na parang they're gonna give us this, they're gonna give us that, they're gonna do these things. Pero like they're already giving their all in terms of how they show love and how they want to be parang loved in return. Na parang parang dito yung lumalabas na parang I'm not asking for too much. I'm just asking you ganyan. But with the other person, it could already be too much because hindi yun yung way niya of showing things. Iba yung love language niya. So, I think it's very important for couples and, friends, people who have, daily or regular interaction to talk about these things para you would have a better understanding on how you can treat each other. Diba? Parang as mature adults, these are the things that we already want to talk about. If our goal, babalik ako dun sa sinabi ko on the first part of our episode, if your goal is really to keep and maintain a lasting relationship and a healthy relationship with your partner, with your friend, with your colleague, like everyone, kung sino man yan.
Nakakasama mo sa araw-araw.
Exactly. So it's really very important to know these people's love language or at least have an idea of their love languages and let them know what your love language is just so you guys could meet halfway.
Correct. And remember this, again, it's a suggestive phrase. What I'm gonna say is suggestive, not prescriptive.
Mm-hmm.
Love is an outbound action.
Taray, English.
Oh, English. Love is an outbound action. Kasi ganito siya, Love is a verb. Diba?
Mm.
And a verb or action words. That, you do.
Yeah.
Hindi naman kasi siya papasok eh. Hindi siya yung tipong may love na darating sa'yo. Rather, ibibigay sa'yo yun.
Mm-mm.
Even self-love. Sometimes oftentimes we talk about self-love.
And we will uncover a lot about self-love on our upcoming Chismis Tuesdays.
Correct.
Mm-mm.
So, when you say self-love kasi, it's still love, your action, giving it outward na ibabalik mo lang sa sarili mo.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the regular love. May regular love pala, no? With the usual love. Na coming from you, giving it to someone else. So it's always an outbound action. Hindi yan love is not what you are expecting. It's actually what the other person, what yourself is going to give.
Mm.
Ayun siya. So hindi mo pwedeng, I would say na hindi mo pwede talagang kontrolin kasi kung paano magbigay ng love yung kasama mo, regardless kung kaibigan, katrabaho mo, asawa mo, jowa mo. Hindi mo pwedeng diktahan kasi kung ano yung nasa isip nila.
And
Hindi mo rin pwedeng diktahan kung paano sila mag-behave dapat because that's already controlling it.
Yeah, and what I like about what you said, na love is an outbound action. You receive it at the same time, you also give it.
Correct.
So you give it, you share it, you share the love, you make other people feel the love, you give them the love. And it being an outbound action, hindi kanila kontrolado.
Totoo.
So parang they can't control you. At the same time, we can't control them. Diba?
Now here's the thing. Speaking of control, now that we know that we can't control these people around us, there's one thing we can control actually. It's how we react to these actions that we're getting.
Yeah.
Maybe from ourselves or from someone else. What is your reaction when you get the love that these people are giving? Dalawa kasi yan eh. Either you thank them, you become grateful just because you're receiving love, regardless if it's an act of service. If pinagluto ka ng kaibigan mo, that is love.
True.
Sinundo ka, that is
True,
love.
B.
Binilang ka ng kape, that is love. Nag-good morning lang siya sa'yo, kinumusta ka, that is still love. And if you convert it sa isang intimate relationship, mag-boyfriend, girlfriend, itong mga simpleng bagay na to, it's still an expression of love.
Yes.
Do not be overshadowed by the usual perception ng mga tao na love is someone na i-date ka sa mamahaling restaurant or
Yeah.
ibibilan ka ng
Mamahaling
ng
mga
regalo.
gamit, like extravagant,
Oo.
ganyan. Though, that could also be, an expression of love, but it's not always the case.
Correct.
Like, we need to manage our expectations, most especially if we know the personality of our partner, of the people that we're dealing with.
Yes. Kaya nga 'di ba, parang the reason we are talking about this topic now, love language, and even yung kanina, yung different personality types, is for us to challenge what's superficial.
Mm.
For us to challenge kung ano yung nakikita natin from a shallow perspective.
What meets the eye?
What meets the eye. Kasi there's more than what we see based on the person's social media, kung paano siya manamit. Ang dami pa. Pwede pa kasi natin siyang hukayin. Sorry for the word. Dig. Ganun in English ko lang.
I-unpack. O, sige.
I-unpack.
O, yun.
Go.
Yun. Pwede pa natin kasi siya i-unpack. Oo, agree ako doon. And also, siguro, once we already, have gotten to know the other person's personality and also our personality, we can already manage our expectations, in terms of dealing with these people. And also, ito yung very important na lagi natin sinasabi, be clear with your intentions. Intentions talaga, guys. As in, in every relationship, you have to be clear with your intentions. Intentions as kahit sa sobrang babaw lang na bagay. Yung parang nagalit ka or you got upset because of what this person said or feel, tapos you wanted to react. Remember, we said kanina na we can control how we react. Now, before we react, we have to be clear with what our intention is. Okay, so ba't ko to gagawin? So I already know that this is the type of person that he or she is, and then I'm gonna react this way. So what is the intention of this reaction that I'm about to make?
Correct.
So you have to have that critical thinking. Parang hindi naman kasi siya, it's not something that's forced. You just have to be clear with your intention. Now, if you're already clear with your intention na dun sa reaction mo, doon sa action, wow, dami words. Sorry. But once you're already clear with your intention, then you can work on managing your expectations doon sa kung paano magre-react din yung taong yon. Ito, remember, we cannot control how they think, how they feel, what they would say. We can only control our thoughts, our ideas, our words, our actions. So that's the only thing that's controllable within us. Now, what you can control is your expectations. Knowing that this is the love language of this person, knowing that this is the personality of this person, and this is what I'm about to do, you can already manage your expectations kung paano siya magre-react. Gets? So parang medyo meron ka ng idea, parang nag-overthink ka, pero you're really just analyzing, the situation. And of course, your intention should always come from a place of care, a place of love,
Of
kindness. Diba?
Tama. So, di ba nga, dalawa yung personality types that we shared today. So, doon sa love language naman, we are going to share the link too. Again, we encourage you guys to take it kasi we want you to understand as well or validate yourselves based on the results that you will get. Na ito talaga yung love language mo. Again, let's challenge the norm na nako-contain lang tayo sa iisa na love language because we are not contained. We're more than just one love language.
Yes, that's true.
Meron tong pang-adults, meron tong pang-couples, meron pang single, and meron siyang for kids.
Kids and teens.
Correct. And especially those, parents out there who are watching our
Oh
show
my God,
now.
yes!
If
For
you
the
have,
parents out there.
Kids, hindi na sila kids, or mga anak na nasa adolescent stage,
Mm-hmm.
yung mga nagdadalaga or nagbibinata pa lang, we advise that, have them take it. Kasi dito na makikita kung paano yung magiging development nung outbound action that they're gonna show sa inyo as parents, or even sa mga sa mga classmates nila,
Peers nila.
It will give these parents, proper arsenal.
Yeah.
Ano ba? Arsenal kung
Correct.
paano nila mamamanage lalo yung anak nila. Kasi, nowadays, it's 2021. hindi na dapat ikinakahiya ng mga magulang or ng mga bata na makipag-usap sa magulang and vice versa.
Yeah. In a mature way.
In a mature way, kung yung mga gantong topics, no, gone are the days na pag less than 8 years old ka or less than 21 years old ka, bawal kang mag-boyfriend, bawal kang mag-girlfriend. We are now challenging the norms of the society. Because the standards that we have are always evolving. I don't want to say that we need to be contained with what we used to do.
Yeah.
Rather, let's ride with the change that's happening. One way or another, these kids will explore. Magiging curious sila. So instead of letting them explore by themselves, why don't we hold their hands and
explore together. That's
so
true.
that you as the matured one can guide them kung ano yung magiging life decisions nila in the future. Kasi it's good to know the personality type of these children.
And also, the kids these days, they are very smart. Like,
Correct.
For all the, the parents out there, whether you're the boomer parent or if you're a millennial parent, if you're a young parent, or parang, basta parang if you are trying to raise a child, the kids nowadays, probably because of the access with, to technology, sobrang talino nila. Now, in line with what Owie said, na they're gonna learn a lot from you. You guys are gonna go through it together. You're also gonna learn a lot from these kids, your children,
The youngsters.
the youngsters. Magugulat ka doon sa mga ma-uncover mo, ma-unleash mo about yourself too that you don't know exists.
Correct.
Diba? And parang, yun nga, parang it's still pandemic. May pandemya pa rin po, and we are still advised to stay home, to stay safe, to make sure that everyone in the household, if you're living with your family, are won't be at risk of the COVID virus. So while we are spending this time together with our family, with our partners, with our friends or housemates, why don't we try to take these a couple of personality tests and love language tests to work on getting or bettering the relationship that we have at home.
Correct.
Diba? Kasi
Even with our friends,
with our
diba?
friends, magre-radiate kasi yan eh. Once you step out of the house, once you interact with colleagues, once you interact with other people outside your home, if may practice na ganun sa loob ng bahay, it's gonna madadala yan. Parang it's gonna be contagious.
Totoo. Now, before we wrap our episode today, the final question that we actually have is, how will these assessments or mga personality types help us? Madaming bagay kung tutusin, but the terminal objective of this is for us to get to know ourselves even more. Kasi when we're able to do that, it's easier for us to react to whatever actions we are seeing from other people or whatever words or how they communicate with us. Alam na natin kung paano tayo bibira.
Yes.
Pagdating sa sa ganong bagay. Hindi madali. That's one thing I can
Yes,
guarantee.
it's not gonna be
Gonna be
easy.
very easy.
Most especially kung meron kang if your results sa personality test is different from your perception of yourself. Kasi sometimes may ganun tayo eh.
Totoo.
In our inner saboteur, na parang we want to believe that we are like this, but everyone else, including the personality test, shows us otherwise or show us otherwise. So parang it's a battle within you na parang hindi ako ganito, bakit ganito, may ganyan.
Meron ka, totoo, yung inner saboteur, masasabihin niya sa'yo na hindi extrovert ka, kailangan ganito gawin mo, or hindi emotional ka, kailangan ganito gawin mo. Same with these people kasi naniniwala sa astrology. I'm not saying that astrology is wrong, but there are people, again, this is my opinion, there are people out there na masyado nagsistick dun sa nababasa nila sa horoscope na dapat ganito lang ako. Na kapag Sagittarius ako, dapat ganito lang yung
Friends. Dapat wala kang friends. Kasi mga sadjit daw mga walang friends.
We can always challenge what other
That's true.
people believe in. Hindi masama na yung challenge yun. We can always prove people wrong.
Of course. And it's our story at the end of the day. We have full control of our lives.
And when we are doing that, again, we always have to make sure that we are purposive, intentional, and it should always be rooted to kindness.
And we don't always have to be right, but we need to always be kind.
Correct.
Diba? Oh my gosh. I feel like I wanna take the assessment again kasi parang I'm a different person after this episode.
Feeling ko, the MBTI, I haven't, taken it for
Again.
quite some time na.
Yeah, me too.
Pero yung love language, tinake ko siya ulit.
Ako parang
I
kailangan
just
ko
wanna
i-take.
check kung may nagbago ba or
Feeling ko tumaas yung gifts ko, honestly. Oo, kasi parang na-appreciate ko na ngayon kapag ang daming mga ganyan, ano yung eksena.
Let's see. And please feel free to share, your experience with us
Oo.
after our episode today. So, tignan natin kung ano yung maging result ng MBTI assessment na yan sa inyo at saka yung love language assessment. Let us know.
Share your stories on the comment section. We read through your comments, you guys, and probably next episode we're gonna read a couple of stories and we can talk about, you on the next Chismis Tuesday. Pag-chismisan ka namin.
Correct. Ayan. So, abangan nyo ulit kami. Again, V81 Radio is available online. You can download the app via Apple Store and Google Play Store. So that's V81 Radio. We are also available on Amazon Fire TV. So it's totally free of charge. And apart from Amazon Fire TV, we're also available at
Amazon
Alexa.
That is correct. So just say, Alexa, play V81 Radio, and it's gonna route you to the different shows under V81 Radio worldwide. And this is available only in selected countries. So kunyari, ngayon mo lang, ito lang naabutan mo sa episode na to, don't worry guys, because you can watch us or rewatch this episode on YouTube and on Facebook, on the Facebook page of V81 Radio and the YouTube channel of V81 Radio. So please subscribe so you get notified and turn on the notification bell.
Ito ba yun? Sa baba?
Hindi ko alam. Pero,
Basta
basta
somewhere.
somewhere. So you get notified every Tuesday or whenever V81 Radio drops, the recorded episodes of the live shows.
Correct. So see you again in our next Chismis Tuesday sessions. This is again Owie.
And this is Jaya. And always remember chatting. Bye.
Bye!
Kumusta, kabayan? Kumusta ka, bayan? Gusto mo bang makasagap ng chismis na may laman? Chismis na makabuluhan. Let's talk about love, life, relationships, social issues, and anything under the sun. Makitawa, makiiyak, makikanta, at makisaya sa nag-iisang online tambayan. ChikaBayan, ChikaBayan. ChikaBayan, kasama sina Jaya at Owie tuwing Martes, 7 p.m. Philippine Time. ChikaBayan, ChikaBayan. ChikaBayan. Dito lang yan sa V81 Radio Worldwide. Naghahatid saya sa mga Pinoy, mga kanta at programang Tatak Pinoy. Napapanood at napapakinggan kahit saan ka man. Streaming worldwide. This is V81 Radio.
Malayo ka man sa iyong pamilya, dito ay hindi ka nag-iisa. Tiyak ito'y iyong hahanap-hanapin, dahil ito ang nagpapasaya sa atin.